What's going on, guys? Comes here back again on another MLB The Show 18 Dynasty video today. Welcome back to another edition of our bi-weekly roster predictions. This one for the month of September 21st, I do believe, this Friday. And of course, if you guys have not yet hit that subscribe button, make sure to do so. MLB The Show content all year round. I know it is kind of a slow time in the game right now, but don't worry, I will still be coming at you guys with the daily uploads. But of course, with this video, we got the roster predictions for this week. Starting off offensively with our first five, we are going to Toronto. This six, we are going to look at Giancarlo Stanton. In his last 30 games against lefties, hitting 375, 750 slug, 3 home runs, 3 total extra base hits. Righties, 322, 678 slug, 4 home runs, 13 total extra base hits, 5 walks to 30 strikeouts. So obviously, his vision is going to stay the same, but 375 hitting against lefties, is contact is going to go up a lot. Also 322 against righties, so I think his contact is going to move quite a bit both ways. His power will move a little bit both ways, not too much, but a little bit. Honestly, I think Giancarlo Stanton will be somewhere around the 78 overall margin. Possibly could get gold. His fielding and speed is pretty good, but he has to stop striking out. I really think that is the main key for Giancarlo Stanton to go gold. Next, going over to Cleveland, we're going to the land. We have, if I can find it, right here. We are going to be looking at Michael Brantley. In the last 30 games against lefties, hitting 375, 458 slug, no home runs, but 2 extra base hits. Righties, 318, 515 slug, 3 home runs, 7 total extra base hits, 8 walks to 12 strikeouts. Now, of course, Michael Brantley does not have too much power, but honestly, I think his power can move both ways against righties and lefties, and also his lefty contact, batting 375. I don't think he's going to go diamond, but I'm going to say 83 overall, maybe an 84 if they're generous on the power, but he definitely could be on diamond watch. I think it'd be a lot closer if he did have better defense. I think that really is going to be the main thing. Of course, he plays in left, for defense isn't the main factor, but if he gets more power and keeps hitting like this, I think there is a chance of him going diamond eventually. Moving over to Oakland, we are going to look at Stephen Piscotty. In the last 30 games against lefties, 324, 703 slug, 3 home runs, 8 total extra base hits. Righties, 314, 614 slug, 6 home runs, 9 total extra base hits, 4 walks to 19 strikeouts. Now, of course, he has a lot of pop, 703 and 614 slug. I think the power is going to move probably somewhere around like the 75 range for both sides. Also, his contact could both move a little bit versus lefties and righties. I don't know if it's quite enough for Piscotty to get gold yet, but I will say a 79 overall. Possibly, if they're generous, an 80 overall, but if he keeps swinging the stick this hot, I definitely think that gold is a possibility before the end of the year. Next, moving over to Cincinnati, we are going to look at Scooter Gennett having a really good year in his last 30 games. Lefties hitting 409, 554 slug, 1 home run, 3 total extra base hits. Righties, 321 batting average, 571 slugging percentage, 3 home runs, 7 total extra base hits, 6 walks to 20 strikeouts. So vision discipline, I think, is pretty good where it is at. Power versus lefties, 545 slug. I think that can move a little bit, but I think really his contact is really what we're going to look at right here, because 409 against lefties, 75 contact I think is pretty low for him right now. I don't think he's going to move too much, maybe like an 82 overall. He's kind of in a weird spot because, once again, his speed isn't that good, his fielding isn't that good, and that does matter at second base more than hitting stats actually. Also, his discipline is still low. He does not really draw too many walks, but I do think he can get up to an 82 overall in this roster update. And finally, moving to a diamond in the desert, we are going to look at MVP candidate Paul Goldschmidt, who is in dire need of an upgrade. In the last 30, 345 against lefties, 621 slugging percentage, 2 home runs, 4 total extra base hits. Righties, 357 batting average, 614 slug, 3 home runs, 11 total extra base hits, 14 walks to 24 strikeouts. Now, earlier in the year, I was really hard on him, but he's really turned it around. He's hitting a lot better, he's hitting for more power, and he's not striking out as much. So Even 24 strikeouts in the last 30 games, that really is not that bad. And he has been trending upwards quite a bit, so I think his vision can go up. And of course, versus righties, 357 with the 614 slug. I think both his power and contact versus righties will go up. Against lefties, it's probably going to stay the same. But 87 overall, maybe an 88 for Paul Goldschmidt. Like I said, he's an MVP candidate. It's time to treat him like he is. Now, moving on to our 5 pitching upgrades. First, we are going to start in Boston at a former Cy Young Award winner, David Price. In his last 31 and a third innings pitched, 2.01 ERA, 164 opponent batting average, 0.71 walks and hits per inning pitched or whip, 35 strikeouts to 4 walks, and we're going to look at a clean sweep. You know I like this. Hits, K, and walk 9 I think are all going to go up. Only 4 walks in over 30 innings pitched is really good. 35 strikeouts for David Price is also good as well, and a 164 OBA is fantastic. I think David Price, especially because he's had the stuff in the past, could get to maybe an 83 overall right here. Obviously, I don't really know about the path to diamond, but of course the Red Sox are going to go deep into the postseason. So if he pitches like this in the playoffs, there is a chance that he can work his way back up to a diamond. But I'm going to say an 82 to an 83 overall gold for this roster update alone. Moving over to Hot Atlanta, we got Mike Foltynewicz, who also is creeping into talks about Cy Young. I don't think it'll happen. Of course, I think DeGrom will win it, but Mike Foltynewicz quietly having a really good season. 185 ERA, 164 opponent batting average, 0.79 whip, 34 strikeouts to 7 walks in his last 34 innings pitched. Of course, Mike Foltynewicz, I think his walk line can go up a little bit. 52 is a little bit low. 7 walks in the last 34 innings pitched is pretty good. And his hit and K9 both, or especially his hit 9 at 164 OBA, can go up to at least an 80 overall. And I will say Mike Foltynewicz is going to go to a gold pitcher in the roster update on this Friday. Now, moving in the same division, we are going to look at Zack Wheeler, who, in my opinion, he actually did get upgraded last week, but he's just pitching so well. I do think he has a chance to get another upgrade and go to gold this week. Of course, he's pitching fantastic. 1.25 ERA, which is the lowest of all qualified pitchers in the last 30 days. 179 opponent batting average, 0.78 whip, 34 strikeouts, 39 strikeouts. I can't even read my own handwriting. And 6 walks in his last 36 innings pitched. Honestly, it could be a clean sweep. Once again, hit K and walk 9 could all move. 6 walks in 36 innings pitched is pretty good. That can move around to 70. Hit 9 at 179 is pretty good too. And 39 strikeouts could move a couple ticks. And all that being said, I think it will be enough for Zack Wheeler to creep into that 80 overall threshold to get to a gold overall player. Now, moving over to Cincinnati, we are going to look at Luis Castillo, a bronze, a young righty who has a lot of potential. A 2.6 ERA, 203 opponent batting average, 0.98 whip, 40 strikeouts and 8 walks in his last 34 and 2/3 innings pitched. Of course, the K9 is going to move quite a bit, probably around the 75. Also, a 203 OBA is pretty good for a 64 hit 9 as well. I think that can move at least around to like a 72 or something like that. I'll say a 76 overall for Luis Castillo. I believe he was a silver earlier in the year. He did get bumped down to bronze, but I think he has done enough lately to move back into that silver range. And finally, our last pitching upgrade, we are going to look in LA at Walker Buehler. Now, he has a 2.01 ERA, a 156 opponent batting average, very good, one on the top of the league in the last 30 days, 0.86 whip, 38 strikeouts and 10 walks in his last 31 and 1/3 inning pitched. The last time he was on this show, I said it was because of his walks. They have improved a bit. Maybe they move that. I don't know if they necessarily need to, but 156 OBA is very good. That'll probably move at least into the 80s, and 38 strikeouts in just over 30 innings pitched. I think that can also move a little bit too. Honestly, this one is all going to come down to his walk 9. If they do move it, I think he'll get gold. If they don't move it, I think he'll only be a 79. But either way, Walker Buehler, especially if the Dodgers get into the postseason, I think still has a great chance of going gold this season. And finally, moving on to our downgrade 4. I could not find 5 guys that I think deserve downgrades, but these 4 I made sure to make it count. So first, we are going to look at Giancarlo Stanton in the last 30 games against lefties, hitting 167 with a 333 slugging percentage, 1 home run, and 1 extra base hit total. Righties 185, 321 slug, 2 home runs, 7 total extra base hits, 17 walks to a major league leading in the last 30 days, 40 strikeouts. Now, I think he finally might have done enough, or not done enough, maybe you might say, to go down to a gold. Of course, he has not had the season many expected following his MVP year in Miami, coming over to the Bronx. And honestly, I think the contact, the power both moved down, and he goes to an 84. If they're really mean, maybe an 83, but I'll say an 84. But nonetheless, I think we can all agree Stanton has not lived up to the potential, at least in his first year, that a lot of guys had on him coming off that MVP award. So I think he will be going down to an 84, down from Diamond, which it hurts to say because I know a lot of people probably don't like me saying that, but that's probably just Yankee fans. I think everybody else in the world agrees with me. But moving on to, I clicked the wrong team. We are going to the Brewers, and I'm going to talk about him again in every single episode until he gets downgraded. Gio Gonzalez, he's still pitching bad. He's not a 78 overall SDS. Stop it. He has a 6 ERA, 274 opponent batting average, 1.52 whip, 26 strikeouts and 12 walks in his last 27 innings pitched. He's walking a lot of guys. He's not striking out a lot of guys, and he's giving up hits. His hit 9 is too high, his K9 is too high, and his walk 9 is too high. He's not a 78 overall. Move him to a 76, and we're done. Come on. I don't want to have to put him on literally every single episode. Come on, SDS. Work with your boy here. Moving over to the desert, we got AJ Pollock in his last 30 games hitting 152 against lefties, 273 slug, 1 home run, 2 total extra base hits, righties 234, 375 slug, 1 home run, 6 total extra base hits, 6 walks to 21 strikeouts. Simply against lefties in particular, power's too high, 273 slug, 152 152 batting average is also. He's got 79 contact. That's a little bit high. Maybe they move his righty stuff. His righty contact could move a little bit at 234. I wouldn't be too mad if they didn't. But I'll say like an 82, 81 overall. Still definitely going to retain gold, but definitely deserving of a downgrade. And then finally, moving over to San Francisco, we got Brandon Belt against lefties, hitting 143, 238 slugs, no home runs, 1 extra base hit. Righties 148, 167 slugging percentage. No home runs, 1 extra base hit, 6 walks to 31 strikeouts. Pretty simple right here. Righties, he's not hitting well at all, and 83, 82 is way too high for the way he's playing right now. Both going to go down. Maybe they move his lefties, but it all comes to he's just not a gold player, so he will be moving down to silver. Probably like a 78 overall for Brandon Belt. And that is going to do it for this week's roster predictions, this week's upgrades and downgrades. If you guys have your own thoughts, your own upgrades, your own downgrades, make sure to let me know down below in the comments. If you guys want me to research any more players, if you guys think and have a question on somebody, make sure to leave them down below in the comments. I'll be gladly to go check them out and give you my opinion on them. But of course, if you guys did enjoy this video, make sure to have a like down below. Hope you guys have a great day. And there it guys comes out. Yeet.
Love is love and hate is hate. To die is an awesome adventure and I can hardly wait. Earth is a prison, I need a great escape. You know I'm in my zone when I'm up in outer space. You know I'm in my zone when I'm up in outer space. You know I'm in my zone when I'm up in outer space. You know I'm in my zone. You know I'm in my zone. I took a bite of the glory, I tell you.